Jeffrey Epstein, a man who held no public office and ran no corporate empire, yet held the keys to the world's most exclusive circles. From Manhattan prep schools to the Caribbean's Little St. James, the Epstein saga isn't just a criminal case, it's a mirror of institutional failure. Today, we break down the background, the suicide that shook the world, and the 2026 transparency crisis that has the Department of Justice on the ropes. The following video is built on official court records, declassified FBI files, news clippings, and verified interviews. Our mission is to establish the facts as they exist on the record. This presentation does not convey guilt to those mentioned. As researchers, we lay out the evidence. The final judgment is left entirely for you. Part 1. The Origins and the Original Sin. How did he start? Epstein began at the Dalton School, an elite Manhattan private school teaching the children of the 1%. He didn't have a degree, but he had a gift for proximity. He moved into finance at Bear Stearns, eventually landing the whale of all clients, Leslie Wexner. Wexner gave Epstein total financial authority. He gained control of a 9-story NYC townhouse and the legitimacy of a billionaire's blessing. His strategy? Project wealth, operate privately, and cultivate exclusivity. He proved that in the world of the ultra-wealthy, perceived legitimacy is as good as gold.
The billionaire, former Victoria's Secret CEO Les Wexner testified today in the House's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. In the Justice Department's release of the Epstein Files last month, Wexner was referenced as a co-conspirator in part of an unredacted internal FBI document from 2019. An FBI email from that same year stated there was, quote, limited evidence regarding his involvement.
But in 2008, the facade cracked. Epstein was arrested in Florida. What followed was what investigators now call the original sin. A non-prosecution agreement so lenient it shielded his co-conspirators and let him serve just 13 months with work release. The deal was overseen by Alex Acosta, and to many, it was the first proof that Epstein was protected by a shadow hand.
Jeffrey Epstein went to jail just before 10 this morning. He pleaded guilty in open court. He agreed to serve a total of 18 months in the Palm Beach detention facility, 12 for felony solicitation of prostitutes, and an additional 6 for procuring persons under 18 for prostitution. The conviction stemmed from several incidents from August of 2004 to October of 2005. The prosecuting attorney would not say how many female victims there are. She would only say there was more than one adult victim and more than one underage victim. After 18 months in the Palm Beach detention facility, Epstein will serve another 12 months house arrest at his Palm Beach home. The 54-year-old will be confined to his home except for work and other activities approved by his probation officer. In addition, Epstein will serve 12 months of community service at his own nonprofit, the Florida Science Foundation, and he has to stay away from minors. The guilty plea and deal end a years-long process that could have sent Epstein to jail for 15 years.
Part 2. The MCC Mystery and the Missing Footage. 2019 was supposed to be the reckoning. Federally charged with sex trafficking, Epstein was held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. Then, on August 10th, the world was told he was dead. Official ruling, suicide. But the controversies were immediate.
The New York Times reporting that officials say multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein has taken his own life in a New York jail.
Epstein pleaded not guilty to charges of trafficking dozens of underage girls, some as young as 14, forcing them to have sex with his powerful friends.
The timing was perfect. Just 24 hours after a massive dump of unsealed documents. 2 guards fell asleep, checks were missed, and then there's the evidence everyone is still screaming for, the camera footage. Reports surfaced that cameras outside Epstein's cell were malfunctioning or unusable. To this day, the public demand for the release of that prison footage remains a focal point of the transparency movement. Was it institutional incompetence or a deliberate blind spot to ensure the dead tell no tales?
This month, the Federal Bureau of Investigation released the primary video used in the investigation of the death of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Deputy Director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, described that video on Fox & Friends just weeks before its release.
There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this, we are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
Before we get into the explosive 2026 file releases and the names of the bigwigs involved, if you value this kind of deep dive investigative content, please hit that subscribe button for the BK Ranks channel. Like this video and turn on your notifications. It's the only way we can keep this channel independent and keep bringing the facts to light. Your support makes this research possible. Now, let's get back to the files. Part 3. The Transparency Act and the DOJ failure. Fast forward to November 19, 2025. President Trump signs the Epstein Files Transparency Act. The law was absolute. The DOJ had 30 days to release everything. December 19th came and went.
Now, and US President Donald Trump has signed off on a bill forcing the release of all of the remaining files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Live
US President signing that bill this evening around 8:20 p.m. here local time in Washington, D.C. He shared that message up on social media on his Truth Social platform, saying that he had signed the Epstein Transparency Act. Now, what that does is it triggers a 30-day countdown. That's how long the Department of Justice has to make its files publicly available.
The DOJ missed the deadline. Representatives on both sides of the aisle sounded the alarm, accusing the department of slow-walking the truth. This is where Kash Patel enters. In explosive Senate testimony and recent podcast pronouncements, Patel labeled the entire DOJ handling of the case a failure of the deep state. While Patel pushed for disclosure, Attorney General Pamela Bondi found herself in a Senate saga of her own, clashing with lawmakers who accused her of weaponizing the DOJ to protect political allies while stalling on the victims.
It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Is the DOJ protecting the survivors, as they claim, or are they protecting the bigwigs whose names fill the logs?
The people who have harmed us, they are hidden, while survivors have been exposed.
The people who were supposed to protect us instead shielded abusers and re-traumatized survivors.
Part 4. The Bigwigs. Trump, Clinton, Gates, Andrew. Now, let's talk about the proximity.
More than 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images. CNN teams are carefully sifting through the largest, and what the Justice Department says is the last, batch of Jeffrey Epstein files. It's an enormous trove of documents, and it includes references to some of the richest and most powerful people on the planet. That includes the current president, a former president, cabinet secretaries, a former prime minister, billionaires, and the list goes on and on and on. The Justice Department says tonight that its job is done.
While Trump has consistently denied being in the files in a criminal sense, the records show a massive social overlap. Most controversial, the suggestive coded emails mentioned in FBI tips, where flight logs and social interactions were scrutinized.
Democrats in the House Oversight have released a letter that President Trump denies he sent to Jeffrey Epstein. Is this here on Live Now from Fox of this from the Democrats, the House Oversight Committee saying, here it is. We got Trump's birthday note to Jeffrey Epstein that the president said doesn't exist. Trump talks about a wonderful secret the two of them shared. What is he hiding? Release the files. And you can see the letter there on the left and calling into question some of that, the signature. But of course, this is a revelation as the letter was included as part of a 50th birthday album compiled in the 2003 for Epstein.
The fallout reached the world's most powerful bank accounts too. Documents suggest Epstein tried to extort Bill Gates over an alleged affair, a link that Melinda French Gates later confirmed was a factor in their 2021 divorce.
Tonight, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates revealing more damaging information about his personal life and admitting to a series of stunning lapses in judgment in building a relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Today, the fallout growing as Gates was pressed by employees at a Gates Foundation town hall. According to the Wall Street Journal, which revealed audio of the meeting, Gates told employees it was a huge mistake to spend time with Epstein. He acknowledged that his relationship with Epstein began after Epstein was convicted of soliciting a minor, and he claimed that he, one of the wealthiest men in the world, did not properly research Epstein's background that would have revealed his sordid past. Knowing what I know now makes it, 100 times worse. Gates acknowledged his association probably helped Epstein rehabilitate his image, and he revealed other damning specifics, saying the men flew together on a private jet and that they hung out in Germany, France, New York, and Washington. But Gates was adamant that he never witnessed any criminal activity. But Gates did acknowledge he had affairs with 2 Russian women. And Gates also addressed these photos, saying there were pictures Epstein asked him to take with his assistants. His ex-wife recently saying Gates needs to answer questions.
Those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
Well,
and I am so happy to be away from all the muck.
Well, Jeffrey, in retrospect, I was foolish to spend any time with him. And he sort of, got time with various people by spending time with other people. So yes, I think I was quite stupid. I thought it would help me with global health philanthropy. In fact, it failed to do that, and it was just a huge mistake.
Bill Clinton. The logs confirm multiple trips on the Lolita Express. Photos released in early 2026 show Clinton in social settings his office had previously denied.
Bill Clinton features prominently in the Epstein Files. He has never been accused of wrongdoing and has said he wasn't aware of Epstein's crimes until after his death. In 1992, records show that Epstein donated $2,000 to Clinton's successful presidential campaign, a small fraction of the $62 million his campaign raised overall. This photo was taken in September 1993 after Clinton had been sworn in as president. Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell attended an event for donors to a White House restoration project. The event was said to have been for donors, and records list Epstein and Maxwell donating $10,000 to the White House Historical Association the same day as the event. In 2001, Bill Clinton left office, creating the Clinton Foundation. Sky News has verified numerous photographs taken on Clinton Foundation trips where Epstein was present. In May 2002, Clinton set off for his trip around Asia for the Clinton Foundation on Epstein's plane. They visited Russia, Singapore, China, Bangkok, and Brunei in a 3-day period. Many pictures from the Asia trip were already public, but have been verified for the first time by the Sky News data and forensics team. This set of photographs was in Brunei, the Empress Suite at Empire Hotel. This suite is a luxurious accommodation that spans 665 square meters, more than 7,000 square feet, features a master bedroom, private dining area, swimming pool, sauna, steam room, grand piano, and a movie theater. An article in Vanity Fair on Epstein placed a photo of the two on a plane on the Brunei trip. That is here. And another photo released by the Department of Justice shows Clinton in the same seat with the same clothes over here, holding his arm around a redacted girl. Again, there is no suggestion of impropriety, and Clinton has never been accused of wrongdoing.
But the biggest domino to fall? Prince Andrew. In early 2026, the man formerly known as the Duke of York was arrested for misconduct in public office. Files suggest he shared confidential trade secrets with Epstein. He was stripped of his titles, his princeship, and his dignity. The prince is now a cautionary tale of what happens when the network finally collapses.
Britain's former Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, he was taken into custody in Norfolk just a short while ago. He is accused of allegedly sharing confidential information with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Mountbatten Windsor has previously denied any wrongdoing over his ties to Epstein.
Part 5. The Maxwell Club Fed Scandal. There's Ghislaine Maxwell. Convicted in 2021, her 2025 transfer sparked national outrage. She was moved from a high-security cell to FPC Bryan, a minimum security prison camp in Texas. This Club Fed move happened just days after she met with DOJ officials for 9 hours. In this facility, reports claim she has access to yoga and dog training programs. Survivors are asking the hard question: what did she tell the DOJ to earn a transfer to a prison camp? Was a deal struck to keep the most sensitive parts of those 3.5 million pages redacted?
Epstein's abuse of underage girls. Prosecutors say that she recruited and groomed 4 girls between 1994 and 2004 for Epstein, her longtime associate and former boyfriend.
Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, she was moved to a new prison facility in Texas this month.
Before the judge read the sentence, Maxwell spoke to the court and the victims, but remained defiant, saying, quote, "I am sorry for the pain that you experienced. I hope my conviction and harsh incarceration brings you pleasure."
Conclusion: the Epstein network wasn't a secret society, it was a public one. It existed in the open, fueled by a manufactured legitimacy that the world was too eager to buy. Epstein is gone, but the system that allowed him to operate, the system that missed the 30-day transparency deadline, the system that malfunctioned in the MCC, is still standing. The facts are on the table. The names are in the files. The network is visible. The final judgment is yours. Thank you for watching this BK Ranks documentary. If you made it this far, you're part of the few who actually want the full story. To support our continued research into these files, make sure you are subscribed, hit the like button, and share this video to help us beat the algorithm. Every sub helps us keep the pressure on for total transparency. Would you like me to analyze these specific, suggestive emails found in the Trump contact logs? Or should we look at the Russian girl extortion emails that ended the Gates marriage? Let me know in the comments. This is BK Ranks, and we will see you in the next deep dive.